Hi, everyone. Welcome to Pilates today. And I wanted to do a mix of exercises that can be done either on or off a roller. So a foam roller here. I have one. If you have one, that's great. If you don't worry. You can still do the class. Another option that you might want to have near you is a small ball. So like you have something, this is actually a little smaller than maybe ideal, but any kind of a toy ball or an inflatable ball would work for some of these exercises. So we're going to start, if you're on the roller, we're going to take it lengthways down your spine. And if you're not, you're just going to lay down onto your mat. So find yourself centered, your tail at the end of the roller, and lay back. And here, arms at your side, feet narrower is easier to balance on the roller, legs apart a little wider makes it easier to balance. But ideally, we usually have the feet about 4 to 5 inches apart, and so are the knees, so that the line of the leg is the same as the hip socket. And that's also the same if you're on the ground. Now, from here, we're just beginning with a little pelvic tuck and arch. So as you press your waist down to the mat or to the roller, your tail tips up a little bit. You feel this like incline here of the pelvic girdle, tail is lifted, and then you're going to bring it back to neutral. So there's a slight arch at your back, and do that again. So press the waist down, the tail rises, you feel an engagement in your glute to hamstring connection, and then release the tail down. And one more, pelvic tuck. You might even feel the movement go all the way up your spine, into your neck, into your head, and then release. And then from here, we're going into a little bit of a bridge. So you stand in your feet, you curl the tail up, and then you push the knees forward, the tail rises. You're coming off of the roller or off of the mat until the shoulders support you, and then roll yourself down, curl down through the upper back, the mid back, the low back, sacrum to tail, and do that again. We're really looking for the feeling of lifting your spine one vertebra at a time from the tail all the way up to the space by the shoulder blades. Boost your hips up, really lift the glutes high, and then widen your back as you sink down. You're going to melt the spine down between the scapula. You might rotate slightly to the inside of the arms to go all the way down. Release the tail at the end. Doing one more like that. Beginning with your pelvic tuck, waist pushes down, tail rises. Stand in your feet, push the knees forward. Coming up, you can push down into your arms, down into your shoulders, push up with your hips. Try to lift up into a hip extension. So you want sort of a plank feeling across the top of your hips here, and then work your body down, melt it down, and you drift your spine down from the top to the tail. And now we're opening the arms out to the side. Again, you can do this on a roller or off of it. Stretch the arms out. If you're on the roller, you take the arms low so that you get a bigger stretch in your pec. And then we're just going to lift the arms up, curve the arms, embrace the air over your chest. And then exhale, pull the arms open, out and down. I thought we would do something today that might help everyone recover from what seems like weeks of shoveling snow. And then pull the arms in, and then exhale, pull the arms open, out and down as you exhale. So inhale, you curve the arms up, your shoulder blades widen, away from your spine, away from the roller if you're on one. And then as you exhale and bring the arms down, the blades come together to hug the roller or to slide in towards your spine. Lifting again once more, arms rise here. And then exhale, pull them open slowly. If you're on the roller, try to stay steady here, your feet grounded, heel, big toe ball, pinky toe ball of your feet. Now lift the arms straight up to the ceiling. Arms are the width of your chest, fingers reach to the sky. As you inhale, you're going to push the arms up, shrug the shoulders off the ground or off the roller, and then exhale, pull the blades down, rest them into the ground or around the roller surface. Inhale, shrug the shoulders up. This is called shoulder blade protraction. Retraction, as you pull the blades down, the hands lower a couple inches down away from the ceiling. Arms rise, they float up. They drag the rest of the arm and the shoulders away from the ground, and then you sink the blades down towards the floor, towards your mat, deepen in, and then let's lift again. Your chest will narrow as the arms rise, the back widens, and then you narrow the back as you widen across your collarbones. One more just like that. Shoulders shrug up, you reach up, try to touch the ceiling, imprint your fingertips into the ceiling, and then pull the blades down, Imprint your shoulder blades into the ground. Now turn the palms forward as you inhale and exhale, lengthen the arms at your side. Reach long, fingers slide down parallel to your body or the roller. We lift the arms up to 90 degrees and then exhale, bring them back towards the ears. Hold the rib cage grounded. There's no additional arch in your spine. Lift the arms here and then exhale all the way forward and down. And then the arms rise again, going up with the arms, heavy shoulders. As the arms go back, think of your blades sliding towards your waist. Yawn your body open, stretch to the sky, and then bring the arms forward. Arms move in parallel all the way forward and down. Synchronize the landing of the hands on the ground. And again, one more, lifting up on the inhale and exhale, pressing back, reach. This is a stretch for your pecs and your lats. And then you bring the arms forward and glide them down to a soft landing at your side here. At this point, bring your hands to your shoulders. You pull the elbows in close to your waist, and we do circles with the elbows, going up on the inhale, exhale out, around, down, and in. Scoop the elbows up, lift the arms, and circle around. Opening the chest here. Be sure that the movement feels good in your shoulder joint. If it doesn't, go slower, smaller, maybe do one arm at a time. However, it feels wonderful, like hopefully it does. You can go larger. Just think it's an inhale to start the circle and an exhale to complete it. We're going to finish this and reverse. Go down and back, out wide, in, forward and down. And you circle again. Start with a short inhale and a long exhale to complete your circle. You can move the scapula underneath your body, like really shrug them on and off the mat a little bit to get more mobility, more stretch in the neck and in the upper back. Or you can choose to keep the shoulder blades grounded and move the arm bone on the socket for a different sensation and movement. Focus on a different part of the shoulder girdle chain. Let's do one more. And then we lengthen the arms forward, stretch them out for full arm circles. The arms go up and back by your ears, and then you circle them out wide, around and down, like drawing snow angels in the snow. Turn the palms down at the end. You lift the arms up in unison. In parallel, reach them back to stretch open the chest. Circle wide and out into space. Show me your wingspan, and then turn the palms down, lift again. Up and back, the arms in perfect symmetry, and circle around. The arms acting in mirror image to each other. Now let's reverse. Palms up to circle back. Bring the arms behind you. Exhale, dive the arms forward and down. Wrists straight, fingers long, stretch out through every single fingertip as you circle the arms back and around, and then exhale. Start with a breath. Imagine the movement of the arms pumping the air out of your lungs. One more. Opening here as you reach behind you. Exhale, dive the arms forward. Close down that shape. Now from here, we're next practicing your upper arm curl. You keep your feet grounded. You take your hands behind your head. If you're on the floor or not, pull the elbows forward and up, lift here, bending here at the chest, below the chest. You're bringing your shoulders off the roller, off the ground. The head looks straight ahead, and then lay your upper back down, your shoulders, your neck, your head, and do that again. Coming up. You can pull the elbows a little in and down, aim them towards your navel where your gaze is. And then coming back down, lay your spine down, release the head. We're going to move here into hundreds. If you're on the roller, you're going to keep your feet grounded. If you're on the floor, you'll pull your knees into tabletop. So lift your upper arm curl, extend the arms at your side, start pumping the arms. Inhaling and exhaling here. Now, if you're on the roller and you want a little extra challenge, you could try picking one leg up while you pump, and then lower it down, get that foot grounded, come up, feel your shoulder blades, hold the roller underneath you, pick up the other knee, and exhale, lower down. And of course, if you're on the mat and you don't have a roller underneath you, both legs would be up, and you would extend the legs to whatever level gave you a nice workout in your low abs. It's fine here too to just come up and stay up with the head and pump the arms with both feet lowered. Another option here on the roller would be to extend one leg out and then fold it back in. So looking at your navel, stretch one leg out long and then fold it back in. And everyone can lay themselves down. Good. Turn your head side to side, just release your neck. If you're on the roller, you can turn your head to the side and then slide your head downhill, pushing down into the opposite shoulder. Slide the head up the curve of the roller and then come to the top. And then we're going to turn in the other direction. Let your head slide down if you're on the roller. Drop the shoulder blade. In either case. And then we're coming back up, head centered. And now everyone, if you're on a roller, slide off of it. We're going to move into roll up here. If you have the roller, you're going to take the roller under your Achilles, which means the heels will be on the far side of the roller. And if you don't, you're just doing a regular roll up. You can also use a TheraBand here around your feet, but let's roll it back down. So legs together, and then reach your arms forward, curve down, push the roller away, and then go all the way down to lay down. You can lift the arms up to the ceiling and back as far as you can without lifting the rib cage. Bring the arms forward and up, lift your head, neck, and shoulder. Exhale, come up, and then suck the belly back into the curve of your spine, diving forward here. Stretch out your back, stretch out the hamstrings. You get a little deeper hamstring stretch if your heels are elevated up on the roller. You can actually use like some books or some cushions there to elevate the heels as well. And then it's going to be a little harder to go down with control because you don't have your legs pressed into the mat if your heels are elevated. And you stretch the body long here as the arms reach back, and do it again. So inhaling to lift, shoulders melt down your back as you come up. The arms height can vary, up by the ears or down on the floor. And then bring it back down. The lower the arms are, the more control you have. The higher the arms are, the more challenge you have to deal with. And we stretch it open again. Let's do one more. Coming up and then curving, bending forward, diving forward like so. Stretch out your back. And then we're going to roll it back again. The tail moves forward. You lay your spine down, nice and slow, nice and easy. Good. And now we're going to do an exercise called Conveyor Belt if you're doing it without the roller, Hot Dog if you add the roller in. So basically the legs are going to come into tabletop, and you have an option. You can do this with the head down or with the head up, hands supporting the head. And then the Conveyor Belt, you just slide the legs forward until you feel maximally engaged in your abs. And then you pull the legs back in nice and slow. Don't let your head fall back. Stay in that deep curve. If you are going to use the roller, you're doing the same thing, but then the roller is between the arches of your feet and your knees. You try to hold it parallel to the ground. You can be up with your head in upper up curl or down. In either case, everyone's going to squeeze their legs in, whether you're on the roller or to each other, and you slide your legs forward, trying to keep them parallel to the ground, and then exhale and drop back in. So this is obviously called hot dog. The roller is the hot dog, and the legs are the buns. But you think of sliding the legs forward, get to the place where you really feel a lot of work in your low abdominals, and then you pull it back in, trying to keep the work in the upper abdominals to keep the head lifted and in that deep upper ab curl. So only go out as far as you feel safe in your back. Your back presses into the ground here. And then you exhale, squeeze and draw the legs back in. Try to keep the tailbone and the glutes on the mat, and then press out and away. Reach again. Don't let go with your knees. Don't let go with your feet. Keep pressing in the full length of the lower leg. And let's do one more. Pull the skull up. If you've fallen flat, re-engage, recommit to that upper ab curl, and then drag the leg back in here. Nice and slow. Good. So now from here, single leg circles. It is a challenge to do it on the roller. You can also do this, of course, laying on your mat. So I'm going to demo it here. The circles will be smaller on the roller. You'll take it the length of your spine. Everyone's going to have their arms stretched at your side. Pull the right knee into your chest. And then lift that foot up to the ceiling. So let's just start, particularly if you're on the roller. Take the leg out to the side. Move it sideways away from center, and then pull it on back, and then cross it over the other leg. Just do a little side to side here, like one windshield wiper. Take it out to the side. Notice where you have to press into your arm and into your core. You have to engage your whole center to hold your body vertical, whether you're on the mat, but especially when you're on the roller, it's an added challenge. So now that you sort of felt that, we're doing some circles. So you take the leg across the body, bring it low, out to the side, and drag it up and cross it over, and then circle it down and around. Reach and then circle. You could be using a TheraBand around your foot if you're on the mat and not on the roller. Circle around, keep pushing the leg out long and away from you when we're here. Complete at the top, and let's reverse. Inhale out to the side and exhale. Drag it over, lift it up. You won't get the leg as far across if the other knee is bent here. There would be an option too to take the leg down and just have the heel grounded, which will give you a little bit more mobility for that leg. So you can stretch and circle. If you were on the mat, the leg probably would have been straight on the ground anyway, but you guys know that. You've been taking this class for a while. Let's do one more. All right, and then we're gonna lift that leg, take it out to the side, get a stretch. You might support the weight of your thigh with your hand. Or of course, hold it with the TheraBand. Pick the leg up, cross it over to the other side, get a little stretch across the hip. The goal here is to stay on the roller and not slide off. So you're gonna really feel your core being challenged by the asymmetrical movement of your leg. And then lift it again, fold the knee and lower the leg down. And now we switch the legs. So we're gonna pull the left leg in, lift it up to the ceiling. And if you're on the mat, the leg is flat down the floor. If you're on the roller, it might be bent, or you could extend it and rest onto the heel. And we start the circle. Inhale across the body, exhale, go low, out to the side and lift up. Keep the body stable against the mobility and length and weight of the leg you're circling. Reach, circle around, drag it over, lift it up. Let's go two more. Keep pushing out through the center of the sole of the foot. And again, you don't want to overpoint the foot. You don't want to be gripping through the toes. At the top, we reverse. Inhale away from center and exhale around. Drag it up, lift it. Reach out again here. Exhale, circling. Pull the leg up to the ceiling and reach again. And we circle out here. Complete the circle at the top. You can do a little bit of a stretch out to the side. Stay grounded here. Your arms press into the floor. Don't let your pelvis tilt. Don't let your torso tilt. And then we're going to lift the leg up, cross it over to the other side. Feel the stretch across the hip, the outer thigh where the IT band is. The arms push down. Your blades are sinking into the ground or around the roller surface. Lift the leg up to the ceiling and then pull that knee in. And then we're going to lower the leg down. And now here, let's slide off the roller. We're going to do some knee sways. Well, not knee sways, actually, we're going to do like a full body rotation. So I'm going to show first without the roller. And so you lay on your back and then turn over to face the screen, knees bent. And you can extend the arm out along the mat, point it towards the camera. And the other hand can either be holding the back of the head, or it could be extended up to the ceiling. We're going to close that arm down on the other one, or just pull the elbows together, depending on your choice of arms. And then let's start to roll back. So you're going to open the arm, follow it with your gaze, open the chest here, lay back, try to get your whole chest parallel to the ceiling eventually, not necessarily today, while keeping the hips stacked. Now the top hip probably has fallen back a little bit. The bottom knee stays on the ground. And then you're looking at that back hand. We're going to bring it up in an arc and forward around to close the hands together again. Or if you want less weight, your hands to your hand to your head, and the elbows closing would do the same thing. If you're using the roller, it's going on a diagonal under your armpit. It's on a slight angle, higher by your face, lower by your hips. Hands behind the head, knees stacked. So we're going to pull that elbow down and in, hug the roller, and then start to rotate back. Roll across your shoulder. The bottom elbow will lift. You lay back, hang back into a little extension. And then to come forward, think moving hip, waist, ribs, shoulders, neck, and head. Hug the roller in. This can be a lot on your lats if you're doing this with the roller. If you don't like the sensation, either put a pad under your shoulder on the roller, like a towel would work, or just take the roller out and do the version I showed you earlier on the mat. Pull the knee forward, come up, round your body forward and around. Connect here into the roller, and do that once more. Allow the bottom elbow to move so that you can go all the way back and hang your head back into your hands. Open both elbows wide and down, shoulders supported on the roller, and then coming back and around again. Come all the way forward and down. Good. And then we're doing the other side. I'm going to turn so I can still keep an eye on you. You can just turn over if you prefer. And again, remember, you have the option of doing this without the roller. If you're on the roller, you want more roller behind you, less in front of you. Support your head, heels in line with your tail, knees are bent in front. Pull the chest forward, look down and in, hang your head low. And then you're rotating back over the scapula, lay back. Move the elbows, try to open the chest to the ceiling, feel the stretch in your chest, and then come forward from the bottom of the spine up. Come all the way around, drag yourself forward and down, look into the roller, and then take it back again, opening up here. Fall backwards, stretch the chest open, really reach, and then come forward again. Let's do 2 more here. Spiral the torso open. This rotation is great for the spine. Be sure you also get rotation in the cervical part, the neck. So you look behind you, and then you're going to bring your gaze all the way forward, and then look down and in, kind of like tuck your chin into your chest. Be a little introverted. Look down and in towards your chest, towards your armpit, and one more. Taking it back, opening this up, laying back here, and last time forward and around. All right. And then we're up, and we'll do a spine stretch. So you want to sit here with your ankles crossed. If you don't have a roller, you could also use a ball in front of you. And if you're just using the ball, you could have your legs extended out like you would for the regular mat version of the exercise. So the mat version, the arms are extended forward. You would elevate your hips if you're tight in the hamstrings or in the hip flexors. And then you look down and you dive your head forward. Take that curve, take that stretch, coming out and over, apparently your cat. And then you bring yourself all the way forward and down. Stack the spine, lift low back, mid back, upper back. Come all the way upright. And then you could do it again. If you are using the roller, you cross at your ankles, let the knees fall open. Take your hands on the roller in front of your hips, push down, lengthen up, and then as you go forward, your spine stretch. Your head leads the way, and the roller rolls up under your wrist, up towards your elbows as you dive forward, stretch out your back here. Take that deep bow and then sink your tail and roll your spine up. And the roller just rolls under your hand to your fingertips. We might even take a little upper back extension here, like a seated swan. And then come back to center, look down and dive the head forward and down. You move the spine from the top of the head, down the neck, down the back, all the way down to the tailbone. Sink low. And then you press into your arms and you articulate the spine up, coming all the way up. Hands lightly press, lift the chest, look up again. Lifting the heart, stretching the abs, and one last one. Looking down, diving forward. Curve your body forward, lift your belly up and around, an invisible ball here. Go all the way forward, stretch it out, and then articulate up, coming up here. to lift the heart again. Shoulders fall behind you down towards the tail. Now we're going to do a hamstring stretch here. So push the roller away. If you don't have a roller, you can just extend your left leg forward. We're going to take the left foot out on top of the roller. It's at the Achilles, so the heel's on the far side of the roller. And the right leg is rotated externally, out to the side, the sole of the foot in by the left thigh. So you're in sort of a figure four position. Be sure your hips are square. And this is fine to do without the roller, of course, or you can elevate your heel on a book or a ball. So first, press your hands down, make a fist, push your hands down at your side, go up through your central axis. You can push down, keep the shoulders down, lengthen up through your halo. And now you tilt a little bit towards that left leg. We're going to start tilting forward, lift the tail up, try to go forward in a plank. And then you can stretch your arms down the leg out as far as you can reach. And then drop your head chin to chest and then round the upper back like an upper up curl. So thinking the low back is trying to be on a diagonal plank and then the upper back is rounded. You can bend your knee a little if you want, if you need to release the amount of stretch in the back behind the knee. Or straighten it and push the roller away if you've got more mobility there, more stretch there available to you. Press down through your right glute. There should be a slight diagonal stretch across that outer hip, because we're on a slight diagonal out over the leg. Just stay here and breathe. And then we stack the spine from the bottom to the top. The hands slide along the leg. When you're vertical, bring your fists at your side, punch down and lengthen up. Try to grow taller, decompressing the spine, but not hiking the shoulders up by your ears. The neck stays long. The elbows would bend as necessary so that you feel that lengthening through your waistline, but not the shoulder hike. And now let's tip forward again. Lift your tail up behind you. You're literally rotating the pelvic girdle on the femurs. And then you go forward on that diagonal. And then you can slide the hands down, round your upper back, curve down here. Bend the knee as necessary. Easier if the foot is on the ground. You get more stretch if the foot is elevated as if it's on the roller or a ball or a book. And then we articulate up, sliding all the way up here. And one more, press the hands down, lengthen the spine. Find your best posture. See what it feels like. Can you keep that if you bring your hands off the ground? Can you get that feeling of lift through the center of your body? Good. And then hands down. Let's switch your legs. So now the right leg goes forward. The left leg is bent at the knee, rotated out to the side. The edge of your left foot against sort of the right inner thigh here. And then again, square off the pelvis. Try to sit right on your sits bones. Hands punch down and we lengthen up through your center, up through your halo. Find the length in the body. Now we tip forward, lift the tail up behind you, lift your sits bones, lean forward in sort of a plank. And then the arms stretch forward, reach out as far as you can. And then you can lower the head, chin to chest. Bend through the ribs, drop the torso down a bit, get that stretch to the back of the leg, bend the knee as necessary. You want to feel the hamstring stretch in the belly of the muscle, not behind the back of the knee or at the sits bone attachment. You're over here stretching out, anchoring down through the left glute here, because again, your body's on a slight diagonal over the leg. This will feel really nice on the left side of your sacrum, helping open up that area there. And then we can start to stack the spine bottom to top, slide your hands along your leg, come upright gradually, hands down, fists down, lift the chest, lift up through your head, push down with your arms. And we're doing that again. So hinge, lean forward on the diagonal, nose sort of over the knee. And then the arms slide forward, you round, you curve the upper back. Try to think of the lower back staying elongated on the tilt from your sits bones. Stretch the arms forward, shoulders down your back. Lengthen here. You know what a good stretch feels like. Be sure that it's a healthy one for you. Bend the knee as you need to. Particularly don't lock into it. You don't really want to go to your maximum stretch. You want to go up to almost the edge of it and kind of look at it, but don't go there, right? Better to be a little safe and enjoy the stretch in the middle of the muscle than overstrain the ends at the attachment points. And then we articulate up with the spine. We slide the arms in, come all the way up, and one more, push down to lengthen up here. Very good. All right, now let's turn to face the camera. We're going to do a little shoulder blade elevation and depression. So let's take one arm up, take your other hand under the armpit and feel for the tip of the shoulder blade here. And then I'd like you to lift the arm up and feel the blade rises on your back, and then pull the blade down. You can use your fingertip to the tip of the shoulder blade and then lift again. So the blade moves up high. It tries to come up and lift by your earlobe, and then you pull the blade down using your lat. The arm stays straight, so there's no bending and straightening of the arm. You just move from your blade, let it glide up your back towards the skull, towards your ear, and then pull the blade down. Can you feel that? You're actually using like this part here, the muscle here in your lat, to lift, to lengthen out. It elongates to allow the shoulder blade to go up, and then it contracts to pull the shoulder blade down. So it's very specific where you're moving. Good. And then we're doing the other arm. Just feel from that how that shoulder has dropped and the neck feels longer on that side of your body. Lift the other arm up. Take the opposite hand across, feel the tip of the blade, and then lift the arm up, reach the hand as high as you can, feel how the blade slides up the ribs, up towards the neck, up towards the ear, and then pull it down, use your lat. The shoulder blade drops, and then we lift it again. It shrugs up, it elevates, and then it sinks. Anatomically, they call that depression. And then we lift again, and exhale, pull it down with your lat. And let's lift here and then lower. Good, one more. Blade rises, and then the blade sinks, and then lower the arms. Maybe bounce your shoulders, feel the release here in your shoulders and neck. Now we're taking both arms up to do the same thing. So you're going to lift them up, but of course this time you're not going to have your hand on the tips of your blade. You're just going to let the blades go up your body, reach the arms high, pull the blades down. It's helpful to think of widening across the collarbones. That will drop the blades for you. So lift the collarbones, smile up. You put a smile on your face also, and then pull the blades down. Engage your lats to move the shoulder blades down your back. One more. Shrug the shoulders up, and then pull it down. Can you see how your spine doesn't change? If you look in the camera, you can see that. Your head and your spine stay exactly where they are as you slide the blades up and then down your back, moving the arms, moving them forward and down, and then bring it down. I wanted to do that here because now we're going to add that to child's pose. So you'll go onto your knees, sit back on your heels. Now, if that isn't good for your knees, don't do this. You can just lay on your back and pull your knees into your chest. Or you could actually put like a folded towel between your thighs and your calves if your knees close but not completely, to sit back on your heels. And now we're going to extend the arms forward along the mat. Forehead on the ground if you can, and then slide the arms forward, letting the shoulder blades come up by the earlobes, and then pull the blades down your back. So we did the same thing we just did sitting. You could also, if you don't like that on your knees, you could also just do the seated version we just did. So the arms slide forward, get the stretch in your lat. You may feel it all the way down to your tailbone, and then pull the blades wide. Now, if you've got the roller, you can do this with the roller, your hands on top of the roller, and then move your shoulder blades up to roll the roller, and then pull the blades down, and the roller moves back under your hand. As you shrug the shoulders up, the roller rolls towards your elbows, and pull the blades down your back, and the roller moves towards your fingertips. So you can shrug the shoulders here, and then move them down away from your head and your neck, and one more. This is an excellent exercise to do after shoveling. All right, and then we're going to stack the spine, come all the way up to sitting for a side bend. This is mermaid. And so to do it without the roller, let's just start with the knees pointing forward and your heels over to one side. So you could actually have your legs stacked and then try to sit up as vertically as possible. It would require a nice long length here between your rib cage and your hip. Easier would be to open the knees in more of a pinwheel position. So the knees are flared open and you might have one foot against the inner thigh, the other heel back towards your sits bone. If that's not comfortable, you could always extend one leg out and just have the other leg pulled in. So there's lots of options here. But what we're going to do from whatever position you choose is we're going to take the arm by the feet. So this, I have it on my left. My left arm is lifted, my feet to my left. And then I'm going to side bend over to the right, slide the hand out, go down onto the elbow, push the forearm down and lift the rib cage up as the head drops. And then we're pulling yourself up. You can push into the arm to lift. Lower the arm here, hang on to your shin. The other arm comes up. You can pull the elbow back down and in to side bend over. Try not to rotate. The body will want to rotate forward to get more mobility, like more length movement. But we're really trying to be very specific about feeling the side seam here on your side. So go directly over and anchor down through this opposite hip here. Press the sits bone into the ground. And then lift to come up. If you want to use the roller, you'll put the roller here. The hand rests on the roller. And then as you go over, you're going to bend the elbow, go out. So the elbow stays maybe a little bit in front of the armpit. As you go over, we don't want to go all the way out because then you get more of a stretch like at the waist down. I'm really looking for the opening here at the rib cage, but you could probably choose what works best in your body. And now push your forearm into the roller or the floor if you're not using it. Come up. Both arms can lift eventually, or you can take one arm down and then side bend away from the roller, away from the direction you just moved. And then we lift up again. You can bring both arms up, head reaches out between the fingertips, bring the hand down, and then side bend over. The head leads the way. You go over, you lift the ribs, you open the rib cage here. This will be great for breathing. Opening the ribs here creates more space for the lungs to expand. And then you push into your arm as you come up, whether your hands to the floor or to the roller. Lift the arm, hand to the shin, and side bend over and away. We're going to lift up and add rotation to this. So hand to the roller or to the ground, go over, find that nice curve in your body. Extend the top arm up to the ceiling and back. Look back at your hand. You're going to scoop the arm around and underneath the armpit, push it away, and then drag it out, lift it up and stretch it back. Open the chest. And then you circle around. You can cup the palm, bring the arm under you, bring it out and around, and open the chest here. One more time. Feel how your shoulder blades move on your back. And you rotate your spine. Come back to center, arm up, side bend over, push and lift up. And then one hand to the shin, other arm up, side bend over, away from your hip. Lift the arm up, pull the elbow out, and now we rotate here. We're going to circle through. And then pull the arm open and reach back, look at your hand. And then circle through here. If you're a magician, you'd now be pulling the handkerchiefs, one beautiful silk handkerchief after the other, and then stuff them back into your pocket. And do one more, opening the chest. Look back at your fingertips. And then come back in. Open the space between your blades. Come back to center. Lower the arms. We're going to the other side. So just swing the legs to the opposite hip. Sit upright, either having the knees more splayed out or stack them more. Whatever works for you. Hips are square, but they are on a diagonal. One hip is down and one hip is more elevated. And then let's take your hand to the ground and the other arm out to the side. As you go over on the mat version, you go right to the elbow. You lift the ribs up, you drop the head. And then you can press to the arm, but drag yourself up from the opposite side. Lift here. Eventually arms are up, head is centered, or you can just do one arm at a time. And we go over to open up the side seam. Coming back up, you can repeat the mat version or add your roller. Hand to the roller, and we go over. You're going to bend the elbow, and again, find the lift through the rib cage, open the waist, and open the ribs, and then pull yourself upright. Your hands can go here, and then down and side bend away from your roller. Pull yourself over with your bottom arm. The elbows pulls back, and both shoulders are relaxed, not by your ears. Coming upright, lift the arms, sit tall, hand down, and then diving over again. Try to curve the spine. In a side bend, that's what we're looking for. Press to the arm as you lift. Arms up, hand to the leg, side bend over. The head leads you out and over. You might even think about a string going from your middle finger to the top of your head and reach the head out under the hand. Lift to come up. We're doing one more side bend and add rotation here. So you're going over, you're balanced on that elbow, reach the top arm up and back, open the chest, scoot the arm forward and under you, follow your hand with your gaze, and then pull it out and push it away with your gaze here. The hips stay where they are. You're rotating the upper back. As you move the arms here, you open the chest as you look way back behind you and spiral the torso. Coming around and underneath. And open this up. One more time. And take it back to stretch. Good. Bring the arm up, side bend over again, and lift to pull up, both arms up, and hand to the leg, dive over and away from the roller. Elbow out, lift the top arm up, and come upright. Now we circle through, coming around, and then open the chest, bring that free arm back, stretch open here, and then circle around. Pull the arm out from underneath you. It's like if you had a sword in your hand, you'd be putting it into the scabbard, and then you would pull it out and wave it in the air behind you. And one more time. Opening the chest and stretching, and then your arms down. And let's just go ahead here and take one more child's pose. After doing all that rotation, it's kind of nice to get the body centered again. You also could just stretch your legs in front of you and do a deep fold here forward. Slide the arms forward. Hang your head low, stretch out your back. Stay here, breathe. And then we'll stack the spine bottom to top to come all the way up. And that's actually the end of our class today. So I hope that made everyone feel better and it worked out okay for you, whether you had a roller or not. Just wanted to give you the option because I know a lot of you do have them. I see them when I look at your screens. So thank you so much. Any questions, stay in